Kia ora, Lara here, also known as Scrappykea, and I'm coming to you with another layout created in response to a sketch for series 12 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm using this lovely sketch created by Kelly Pyron, and I'll link her up below so you can check out some of her other work. So this sketch has got some nice banners sort of hanging down from the left. There's sort of a bit of a cluster at the top left and the bottom right, and I'm going to play with the sketch using a kit I put together for our June Scrappykea layout kit. So each month or every 6 weeks or so I put together a kit using current close to my heart products and sort of mixing things up, adding in some extra embellishments and playing around with different ideas and concepts. This one uses the Hey Handsome sticker and paper set. The mix-ins, you can see that gorgeous distress sort of ducky egg blue kind of colour there, which is part of the April, May and June mix-ins. I've pulled in some of the Gazette newsprint designs, which is an embellishment collection, as well as some little black stars. So I'm just sort of coming at this with playing with the papers, looking at different sizes and proportions and how this might work using the sketch. And after putting these layouts together, I come up with cutting guides using my ruler to measure all the bits that I cut from this collection and crediting, in this case, hello cat, welcome to my table. This is Rua, who can be quite annoying when one tries to scrapbook at a table. The cats have sort of moved into my bedroom these days, as they don't like the dog that lives here, or one of the dogs that my son has brought home, so they've become bedroom cats. We've sort of shifted the food down there. They've got their own little seats that they like sitting on and stuff like that. So it's another reason, I guess, why my scrapbook space is now back into my bedroom. Anyway, you don't really need to know all of that information. However, it's nice having the cats around and knowing where they are, but at the same time not when they're climbing up onto the desk. And I think he actually does this a couple of times when I'm working on some of these kit layouts. So just created the banner. I did a little bit of a snip from the center up a little bit and then cut in from each side, and then I'm just sort of arranging these the way I think I might like them, and I'm just sort of going to work out how that looks, how that fits, and get that ready to stick down. There's the cat back again. This time we're getting sort of a tail end view, and off he goes. So quickly dispatched or moved off the space. So the photos that I am documenting here are my husband. We were at the beach house. It was sort of there with my son and some of his friends, and they were off doing some motorbike riding, and you can see the dog sort of there hanging around with us, which is absolutely fine. My husband was out lying in the sun, loving the sort of the late autumn, so it's almost into winter here, enjoying the sunshine sort of out front while there was some sunshine, and unfortunately he ended up breaking the seat. So when we had to sort of explain it to my parents, they sort of smiled because it had happened to them before as well, so that was okay. Anyway, just now pulling out some of the different embellishments, both from the sticker sheet and from the Gazette newsprint ones that I mentioned before, and sort of working out how that's all going to look in relation to the sketch and in relation to the photos and the page that I'm working with. So sort of looking at this now, and I'm going to mount the photos onto some white daisy cardstock. So these photos were printed on my selfie, and they were printed on 4 to a single 4x6 layout. I'm really enjoying my selfie 1500. It's got a few different choices with how your finish looks in the photo. So you've got, I think it's something like gloss, semi-gloss and matte, and I quite enjoy having a few different options within it. My other selfie was absolutely perfectly fine. I just had some really good use out of it and liked the idea of getting another one so that I could do these different finishes at the end. So I was able to sell my other selfie, and I hope that the person who's got it's enjoying it. It has been a good wee faithful photo printer. I do sometimes get photos printed at local photo printing places. So we have a couple around here. We have Harvey Norman that has a print shop. We have Warehouse Stationery, which has a print shop. Plus you can also order them online at different places in New Zealand, but I find I have more control over what the output's like if I can do it in the selfie, because I know what it does. I know how to edit it so that it's the way I like it. And so I also find I print less if I use the selfie, even though it costs more per print, because I'm printing exactly what I want for the layout when I want it. I used to order like a huge amount of photos, and most of them never got scrapped, and they're kind of sitting in containers in our garage, and I probably need to have a real big clear out. Imagine the space that I would have if I did that, so that it's more economical, and also I think it takes up less space if I print them myself. So I'm just using some of the Close to My Heart ink here, just a light colour and a sponge to add a little bit of inking around the edges, which just gives it a bit of depth, and it helps to lift it off the page. So you see as I'm putting that down here, apart from the shadowing, that it just it creates a bit more definition around the edge, and it almost looks like it's thicker than it actually is. So I'm now just going to stick down these. I also inked those, which when I was talking all about printers, you may have noticed that I was doing that. And I'm just tucking these in here. And so that's a mixture of both the Hey Handsome papers and the mix-ins, and sticking down my photographs. So I chose to overlap the photos in here. I did squish them together a little bit so you didn't see that paper where it started and finished, and just got those three in sequence, just showing sort of how that story unpacks and develops. And that little bracket's going in there, and also down the bottom as well, so it's sort of like that a line of vision, I guess, and just sort of stopping that. These are the stickers from the Hey Handsome collection, and I'm just sort of choosing which ones I'm going to pop onto the page. And so choosing which sort of words, and I decide to use the words that are just down here, love you so. So I love that we can have moments, we can laugh with each other and enjoy each other's company. We don't actually mind being on our own. It's kind of nice being in spaces without other people around, I guess. In some ways, both of us might be a little bit introverted, so we enjoy that time out with just each other, in between family times and doing stuff with other people as well. So I'm just adding essentially that onto this little tag, which was also part of the sticker sheet for the Hey Handsome collection. I had used similar for other layouts in the past, where I was able to cut these from the Picture My Life cards that came with the Hey Handsome collection. I was a little bit disappointed recently when Close to My Heart said they're not going to be coming out with the Picture My Life cards anymore. I had used them last year and finished it off this year, a Picture My Life album of our 2022 year. And now sadly there won't be any more Picture My Life cards for other use. Anyway, onwards and upwards, I'll have to create my own with all the gorgeous stamps and papers and things. I'm just tucking or sort of lifting up some of these papers and things just to give it a little bit more distress, or a little bit more height and depth, a bit messier, rather than it being a neat straight layout. I'm not neat and straight, I guess. I'm a bit of a mess, a bit of a scruff, so roughing the edges up just seems like a natural thing for me to do. I'm just using my white gel pen just to add a few stitching or faux stitching marks around the edges. This sort of fabric is sort of a linen-y kind of fabric, and it does suit that gel pen or the stitching kind of look around it. So now having another look at some of the other stickers that we've got, and sort of working out what I can put on and where, and choosing a few of the stars and popping them around. So at the moment there are a couple of specials going on. First up, there is one for people who are VIPs, so that's an option within Close to My Heart where people get 15% of their purchases back as Close to My Heart cash, and so you can sort of save that up and then you can get a free order. Just have to pay the shipping and stuff at some point, or you can just sort of get get that on the next order, get 15% from the previous order, and use that cash on what you're purchasing. So there's lots of ways to play around with that, but part of being a VIP also gives you access to a special bundle. So it's kind of like a free a grab bag or a mystery bag or a mystery collection of things that you will get for free with certain order prices, and both VIPs and makers can get that. We've also got another special going on for makers where if they sign up, basically what you pay to sign up you get back in Close to My Heart cash, and then you get the discount purchasing your products, which is pretty much why I do this. I love using these products. I am a maker, and that means that I get a discount off them when I'm purchasing, and every now and then I get free stuff as part of sort of meeting certain expenditure things, and we get Close to My Heart cash to spend on other things. So that's sort of why I do this. If you're interested, flick me a message, and you're based here in New Zealand. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for the great sketch.